Now, the biggest soccer games in the world are coming to your hometown, and you can't watch. That is, unless you can shell out some serious cash. Official World Cup match tickets are going for upwards of $11,000, with resale reaching as high as $2 million. These outrageous prices led New York and New Jersey to launch investigations into FIFA just weeks before the games are set to begin. Attorneys General Letitia James of New York and Jennifer Davenport of New Jersey released a statement today announcing they have subpoenaed FIFA, seeking information about its ticketing practices for the 8 World Cup matches.
Something Donald Trump feared may already be beginning, and the timing could not be worse. With the FIFA World Cup approaching, what was supposed to showcase American strength to billions of viewers is suddenly being swallowed by crisis after crisis. Foreign boycotts, ticket pricing scandals, growing backlash over immigration enforcement, security fears, and now mounting public health anxiety. Behind closed doors, political strategists reportedly understand something deeply uncomfortable. Global events become dangerous when leaders lose control of the narrative. A president's reputation is often tested most brutally during international events, because when multiple crises collide at once, voters stop seeing bad luck, they start seeing failed leadership. If you care about where this story is heading, please like, subscribe, and stay with us, because what happens next may surprise Washington.
The 2026 FIFA World Cup is just months away, but instead of excitement, anticipation, and celebration, the build-up is being dominated by backlash, fear, and controversies, primarily due to the political developments happening around. What began as criticism over sky-high ticket prices and visa uncertainty has now escalated into calls for a complete boycott of the World Cup.
What makes this situation politically dangerous for Donald Trump is not simply that problems are emerging around the World Cup. It is that the problems keep multiplying, and each one seems to strike at the exact image Trump has spent years trying to build. Because this tournament was never supposed to be just football. For Trump, the World Cup represented something much larger, a chance to present the United States as powerful, organized, prosperous, and fully in control, with the White House standing beside one of the largest international spectacles on earth. Billions watching, cameras everywhere, national pride on display. Instead, troubling headlines are beginning to pile up. First came growing backlash surrounding ticket prices. What FIFA promised would become an economic boom for host cities is now drawing anger from consumers, lawmakers, and investigators. State officials are reportedly looking into allegations surrounding dynamic pricing systems after fans complained of soaring ticket costs and sudden price spikes that many believe feel manipulated rather than organic. And politically, that matters, because major international events succeed or fail not only through logistics, but through perception. If ordinary families begin seeing the World Cup as something designed only for wealthy elites, frustration spreads quickly. Then came another politically explosive issue: immigration enforcement. Reports surrounding a larger immigration security presence at tournament venues have already triggered backlash among some activists, immigrant communities, and international observers worried about whether fans entering the United States could face excessive scrutiny during what is supposed to feel like a global celebration. To Trump supporters, tougher enforcement signals security. To critics, it risks projecting something very different: fear, tension, and hostility during an event built around openness and international goodwill. And once again, perception becomes the battlefield. A leader hosting a global event is not judged only by safety or economics. They are judged by atmosphere. If visitors leave feeling anxious, exploited, or unwelcome, the political damage often outlasts the event itself. That concern may explain why nervousness is reportedly beginning to grow behind closed doors. Because political strategists understand something uncomfortable. When international headlines begin shifting from celebration to controversy, recovery becomes difficult, especially when millions of visitors and billions of viewers are preparing to watch everything unfold in real time. And this may only be the beginning. But if backlash over ticket pricing and immigration enforcement was already creating political discomfort, another crisis may now be making Trump's World Cup problem feel significantly more dangerous. Public health anxiety. And history has a habit of becoming very uncomfortable when global sporting events collide with disease fears. Because this is not a normal summer gathering. The World Cup means millions of people crossing borders at once. Packed airports, crowded trains, stadiums filled with fans from every continent, hotels overflowing, cities operating under enormous pressure. Under normal circumstances, governments prepare years for exactly this kind of moment. But critics increasingly argue this may not be a normal moment. Growing concern surrounding disease outbreaks overseas, particularly in parts of Africa, is beginning to raise new questions about whether the United States is truly prepared for an event of this scale. Travel restrictions, uncertainty around screening systems, and growing concern over preparedness are quietly becoming part of the conversation. And suddenly, what should have been football starts sounding like crisis management. A government hosting an event this large enters dangerous territory the moment public health uncertainty appears. People stop asking whether the risk is small. They start asking whether leaders are prepared if something goes wrong. That question matters politically because Trump has built much of his political identity around competence and control, strength, order, confidence, under pressure. But large international events have a brutal way of exposing weaknesses quickly. One airport controversy becomes global headlines. One health scare becomes panic online. One confusing government response suddenly turns into questions about preparation. And in the modern media environment, perception moves faster than facts. That reality may explain why some political strategists are reportedly becoming increasingly uneasy behind closed doors. Because unlike ordinary domestic controversies, the World Cup creates something uniquely dangerous. Global visibility. The cameras never stop. Every mistake gets amplified. Every delay becomes international news. Every controversy spreads instantly across social media feeds watched by millions. A presidency can absorb small domestic controversies, but international events are different. They compress failure. Problems that might normally stay local suddenly become symbols of national competence. And perhaps that is the deeper fear quietly spreading around Washington tonight. Because if multiple problems collide at once, pricing scandals, security backlash, immigration tension, public health fears, the World Cup may stop feeling like a celebration of American strength and start looking like something far more politically dangerous for Donald Trump, a global test of leadership unfolding in real time. And then comes the question Washington may be increasingly nervous to answer. What happens if this crisis keeps getting worse? Because political disasters rarely arrive all at once. They build, quietly at first. One controversy feels manageable. Then another headline appears. Then another problem emerges. And suddenly, what looked temporary started feeling like a pattern. That may be exactly why growing nervousness is reportedly spreading among some political observers as the World Cup approaches. Because what Trump hoped would become a defining international success story risks turning into something far more politically dangerous. A symbol of lost control. Think about the stakes for a moment. The World Cup is not simply another sporting event. It is one of the largest international showcases on Earth. Billions watching. Foreign governments watching, financial markets watching, political allies and rivals watching. For any president, success brings prestige, failure brings questions. And for Donald Trump, those questions may become deeply personal to his political brand. Because Trump has always projected certainty. The image of someone stronger than crisis, someone who controls the room, someone who dominates events rather than reacts to them. But global spectacles have a way of exposing realities leaders cannot fully manage. A pricing controversy cannot simply be talked away. International criticism cannot be dismissed as easily as domestic politics. Public anxiety spreads fast when millions of travelers are involved. And once headlines begin reinforcing one another, political recovery becomes harder. Political reputations often weaken through accumulation, not explosion. The public rarely reacts to one mistake. They react when separate problems begin forming a story people recognize. And that story may already be beginning to take shape. A tournament meant to showcase prosperity becomes associated with angry fans. A celebration meant to unite becomes surrounded by tension. An event designed to project competence becomes consumed by questions about preparation. And perhaps most politically dangerous of all, a moment intended to strengthen Trump's image risks reopening one of the oldest criticisms surrounding his leadership chaos. Because critics would almost certainly argue this is not bad luck. They would argue it reflects management, preparation, judgment, leadership itself. And even supporters may begin asking uncomfortable questions if the problems keep growing. Could this have been handled differently? Was enough preparation done? Did politics get in the way of planning? Presidents are judged harshly when expectations are high. When leaders promise strength and control, the public becomes far less forgiving when events begin looking disorderly. Which leaves Donald Trump facing an uncomfortable political reality tonight. The World Cup was supposed to be a triumph, a symbol of American power, a global celebration happening under his watch. But if the crises continue multiplying, it may become something else entirely. A political stress test with the entire world watching in real time. So tonight, the uncomfortable question hanging over Washington is no longer simply whether Donald Trump can host a successful World Cup. It is whether the very event designed to showcase American strength could instead expose growing weakness at the worst possible moment. Maybe these fears are overstated. Maybe the tournament runs smoothly and the headlines disappear. Or maybe the growing controversies, ticket scandals, international backlash, public health anxiety, and political tension begin reinforcing one another in ways nobody inside Washington can fully control. Tell me honestly, is Trump heading toward a World Cup triumph or a political disaster the world will witness in real time?